Welcome into DC On Screen. I am your host, David C. Robertson, and this is my co-host, Jason.
Hi.
Howdy.
I sounded way more excited about you to be co-hosting this right now.
I know, that's weird.
You've grown bored of me.
Hey, you know what? No, full disclosure. As some folk would remember or know, I am on vacation right now, and I'm recording here in the hotel room, and over in the corner is our mutual friend Brandon Davis, and he's asleep. So I'm actually a little less excitable because I'm trying not to wake him up. So if you guys hear snoring, I mean, sorry.
I don't normally employ them, but hashtag dorm life.
Hashtag dorm life.
Yeah. We've all been there, buddy. We've all tried to get away with a lot with another person in the room. Don't wake him up. Don't wake him up.
I'm not trying to get away with anything but podcasting. I don't know what to tell you.
Seems like a hell of an endeavor to me.
So yeah, we've got people next door. I've got clowns to the left of me, Brandon's to the right.
Here you are, stuck in the middle with me.
With Jason. And you guys, howdy. So we mentioned it on the Supergirl episode. I'll mention it here. March is going to be a huge month. March 25th is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice coming to theaters, and we're not even going to discuss Daredevil here because that's not DC. But
still, big month, right?
March 28th is World's Finest, Supergirl and the Flash crossover, now officially confirmed. Went ahead and just decided to talk about that as well here because The Flash, y'all. And we actually did talk a lot about The Flash over on the Supergirl podcast. If you haven't caught up on Supergirl, just go ahead and do that. Because you know what? If you're listening to The Flash and you're watching The Flash, man, I'm sorry. They're about to cross over, y'all. Barry's going to be over there hanging with Melissa.
And we don't, to briefly recap what we know about it, is nothing.
Absolutely
we
nothing.
don't know if the Flash is going to actively be missing a little bit here, or they're going to mention, hey, where did you go, or anything. Or the only thing we're sure about is it does seem like they're going to make it a multiverse situation. So
yeah,
there's going to be at least, I guess, 3 Earths.
Yeah, James Olsen grows another muscle, and Vibe sees something he shouldn't see, and all of a sudden there they are together. But also on March 31st, that's going to be the cutoff date for our big promotion that we're running, where you guys give us a review on iTunes or Stitcher, and then email us at dconscreen@gmail.com, and give us the name of a character you want, and whether or not you want me or Jason, Dave or Jason, to draw the thing, and we're going to send you some fan art. You got to give us an address as well.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're not going to send you anything other than the artwork that you wanted and maybe some show notes or something random. I don't know. We do that sometimes.
Whatever we can think of. And
sometimes
to give you an update, Roland, you're almost done, and I believe that would make Scott and Freddie next. So yeah.
Yep. And
we've already got proof that we're doing this. So on the webpage, Christopher White has posted a charming picture of himself with our first piece of artwork.
Yeah, and we might as well go ahead and just address the elephant that may eventually be in the room. Christopher White is our oldest and most loyal fan.
We do love him.
So we're both doing stuff for him.
Right.
Because he asked us to, and I was like, why the hell not, dude? You're awesome.
He got dibs.
So, Chris, your artwork is finished, and will be in the mail soon. But yeah, so if you guys want to do that, well, just hit us up like I said before. You can just go skip back and listen to it again, this whole conversation. But for now, we're going to get into Flash 212, Fastlane.
Tarpit!
Why would you holler out the least interesting thing about this episode?
He looked great, man.
He does not look great. He looked great He looked great for about 2 minutes at the very end of the episode when he looked like Clayface.
Yeah, that's when I finally went, oh, there we go. But I actually I liked the makeup before. I actually did. I thought it was subtle.
Let's see. You know what I didn't? You know what I didn't like about it? He's like, I felt my nose burn off. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm looking at it.
Well, he reconstituted himself. He's a shapeshifter now. That's okay.
Yeah, I know. It was just dumb.
It wasn't dumb. It was... Sorry that you're not interested in a character made of tar.
I know. Okay, you know what? Really? really, he's another particle accelerator misfit, and there's nothing to preclude the notion of more accelerator metas. But for some reason, going back to it, even if it does make total sense and there's nothing wrong with it, it seems like it's pulling the show backwards. Or, maybe it was just that Tarpit was almost completely extraneous with little.
I think it's the second one.
In terms of entertainment.
I think it was the second one. As Madison pointed out, I forget the phrasing, but it was probably the swiftest and least grand conclusion to a character, to a villain of the week that we've seen in the show so far. There was zero fanfare. There wasn't one motherfucker out there with a kazoo sporting that. It was quick, man.
We'll get to what Scott said here. He's fun. Scott, not Tarpit.
I'll be very clear about how I feel about Tarpit.
And very clear about how I feel about Scott. Right. We love you, buddy. Oh, man. I loved everything with Wells this episode.
Yeah.
Just, scolding Barry, telling Barry the truth, after stealing his speed. Oh.
I saw him, and I saw Harry, putting the little device under the flash symbol, and I swear my internal dialogue was like, Harry, know that men call you betrayer.
I saw him doing it and thought, Cisco's going to see that, right?
He'll find it. I assume he did some sort of cloaking mechanism within. I assume Harry was swift enough mentally to figure out a way to make it to disguise his tech a little bit.
Well, yeah, okay, but you saw him just stick it on the back of the symbol there. I'm sitting there going, dude, and they even called it out in the episode later. Cisco's like, yeah, I take care of that suit, man.
Right.
I'm like, come on, Harry.
I know. You knew he was going to be there were several moments during the episode where you knew damn well by the end of this thing Harry was going to turn himself in. It could not have been more clear.
Yeah. And I'm honestly really happy to have that out of the way.
Oh yeah. It wasn't the most interesting thing the show had decided to do. Just because, we talked about this at the mid-season finale, or at least I remember saying it, is now you've just gotten me back to season 1. You spent all that time doing season 2 and a new Earth and everything, and what it has earned me is we can't trust Harrison Wells again. This is a lot better. This is a different. Well, I like this more.
Look, man, Tom Cavanaugh can do no wrong.
We've discussed that.
Apparently, because he's just
32 flavors of good.
He is 32 flavors and then some. Oh, the 90s. Anyway, I love his reaction. I love Wells' reaction when Barry speed reads and just learns all the Earth 2 shit, and he's like, yeah, okay. That's annoying. That's annoying, Alan.
Yeah.
It is. It's awesome, though.
I got annoyed with him for just a second because he says short-term memory. That's working memory, Barry. Sorry. I've had a lot of pet peeves this week. That was one of them. But I love that it had a time limit.
As I understood it, look, man, that's not my field, knowing all that crap, but it is short-term memory, isn't it? Because you have to keep learning. You have to learn something and it sticks in your short term, and then you have to re-up it. You have to there's a certain amount of repetition of rereading it or relearning it, and then it stays in the long term.
That's not really all that far off. It's just there's sense memory where you've got a few seconds with it. It's the kind of stuff that you've logged in the time it takes you to move your eyes.
Okay.
And then it's a flash and it's gone. And then you've got short-term memory that
it's a flash and it's gone.
Short-term memory isn't around very long. And then as soon as you use the short-term memory, you bank it into working memory, which is that's kind of where you get that whole 7 + or - 2 thing. You can only hold X amount of things in your head at a certain time. Well, now you're into working memory, though, because and here's the key, working with it. So he was using working memory there to do all that stuff. But once you use working memory enough, it moves its way into long-term memory. But what I liked about the speedreading having a time limit is that's exactly how that should work. You can maybe shove all that into your brain for a second, but it can't possibly crystallize everything into long-term memory. Just that it's a workload problem. You just don't have that much processing power. So there's my tiny thesis on that. But irrelevancies of, Psych 101 minutia aside, it's still a pretty fucking fun scene.
Yeah. I'm willing to let him slide on it, man.
I'm good. I'm good. I realized though, like as I'm watching these shows, I'm like, am I really gonna have a pet peeve each episode? Because I'm watching like Supergirl, and I'm like, no, that's an inverse image. And, like, watching Lucifer, no, that's not begging the question, you bastard. Watching this, it's not short-term memory.
Then you're watching Arrow, and you're like, it's just not good.
No, actually, I got to Arrow, and I was like, that is what a Faraday cage does. Great, good job, guys.
I know, I laughed when they said that. Anyway, let's stick this to the Flash. We'll get to Arrow in a second, I swear. How much did you love the random funny snippets of Cisco and Barry talking?
Oh yeah.
Like Cisco joking about Barry getting dumped and stuff, but they didn't give us the whole conversation, which felt good. Like I liked that because it was just like gave us a little peek into what it's like hanging out with Cisco and Barry.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly happy to like
Just
extrapolate that and assume that they're kind of funny most of the time because they just enjoy hanging out with each other, and they feel like they've got a similar working sense of humor. So I liked it. I really did. And Cisco's app that's a cool tweak. I like that. That's a good introduction. I kind of like the app being around, and I forget the music he had on it when the app goes off though. But it was real. It was
superhero.
It was big. It was like John Williams big.
It was grandiose. Yeah. If nothing.
Yeah. It announced there's a meta. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, even better than that though. Like, so who's the best hacker in the world? Unflinchingly, they both Felicity Smoke.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just love the look on his face. What are we doing? That's not friendship.
That's not friendship. That was so good. I laughed so hard when he said that.
And they both kind of shrug like, sorry, brother. I mean, do you know how good she is?
Yeah, that was perfect. That was great. You know what wasn't, though? Whatever the hell Iris was wearing when she infiltrated that race.
Oh, dear God. She like headed to I feel like they probably have like a costume room for undercover stuff, and she grabbed the 80s bin,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad.
She grabbed the clothes that were supposed to have been retired, because even narcs know people don't wear that shit. Also, if you're going undercover, please turn the camera phone setting, the sound setting, off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, points for being hot enough to make Wally need a therapist.
That was a good line.
It was a good line, but oh man.
Not saying she ain't an attractive girl. Saying nobody wears those pants anymore, lady.
Oh man, those whatever. What was it, like a feather boa and a?
No, she put like purple streaks in her hair, and then there was it was like a Captain Cold jacket almost, like the little fur thing around, and then the like Daisy Dukes with the frayed white. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was like coochie cutters with black stockings or something. It was weird looking, man. It was bad.
Very much an oh honey, no. It's like, you're a pretty girl. You can go in there and get a t-shirt and jeans, and everybody here is going to know that you are an attractive lady. You do not have to get out the coochie cutters.
But what I did love is that Iris was kind of a badass, using all of her reporting skills to get that dude to stop the races. She was really good.
Yeah, she did a pretty good job.
Or at the very least, she did a really good job of not getting herself killed.
Right. I wanted her to lay off so hard, though, because I know the point they were trying to make with Joe, like, you're not his friend, you're his dad. I get that, but man, come on, it's a weird situation. Like, give Joe a fucking second. He's Joe. He'll figure it out.
Well, yeah, but I've seen that. You're the parent that's so afraid to lose the kid that they've lost touch with, or they're just trying to hold on to, that they just become more of their friend than their parent.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fear of rejection, takes over there, and I can see that. It's just like, it's been like 2 weeks since he's had his son back in his life. Like, give him a damn second.
I know,
give him
man.
just a damn second.
I know, man.
But Joe, like he normally does, like calmly and reasonably puts an end to that problem. I felt like at his little conversation at the end, like him in the hallway talking to both of them. I mean, he talks to Iris for a second, or he talks to Iris like earlier in the episode in a hallway somewhere. I can't remember where that was happening. And then talking to Wally at the very end, just saying like, I'm not your friend. But he doesn't in a Joe way, in a very fucking Joe way, Just I'm gonna look at you with my giant soulful eyes and explain how I care about you. Oh, the many ways. Yeah. And at the end of this, you're gonna be a good person, because how can you look me in the eyes and not be a good person?
Yeah, friggin' Joe, man. So I tell you what, I love Barry not fast enough.
Yeah.
That was a great shot, the great sequence of him knocking stuff out of the way as he's running toward Iris, and you're like, oh, you're not going to make it.
I know you're not going to make it.
And you see it on his face. He knows. Oh, That was great.
Honestly, you ever have you ever have dreams where you're running and you can't get a good run on?
No, I have realities where I can't run.
If they've ever popped up, it's a popular dream trope. Like you try to run, but you can't. Somehow you can't do it. Like in my dreams, I end up like crawling on the literally groping the ground with my hands to try to move faster away from whatever the fuck is behind me. Probably like a professor or some shit. But
yeah, generally in my dreams, I always can run really fast and jump really high, and I'm always worried that I don't feel tired. I always worry in my dreams that my heart's gonna bust because I don't know what's happening. And
why do I have
I'm
good stamina? This isn't right.
Yeah, and it's about that point I realize it's a dream, and I wake up and I go, "No,
I was flying.
I was so close. I was so close to lucid dreaming."
Just one day. Anyway, point being, that's what Way reminded me of though. Is like what the look on his face when he can't run and like just that not being able to. That's gave me like a little bit of a dream flashback, chill down my spine kind of moment.
What it reminded me of was the look on my face when I'm running to the bathroom after eating at Waffle House. I'm not gonna make it.
No way. Damn you, All-Star Breakfast.
That was the culprit.
I didn't need smothered, covered, and whatever.
And diced. I don't know. And chunked. I don't know. One of those. Anyway.
Every now and then I'll just say a few words. I'll order hash browns and just like say a few random words after it and see what comes in the hash browns. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Apparently I've gotten mushroom and jalapeno hash browns. Okay.
Oh, look, they're hard candies. I shouldn't have said skittled.
Right. I said scalloped. They have scallops. I didn't know that. I'm not comfortable with a Waffle House scallop.
Why are there roaches in my hash browns? I should not have said scuttle.
No, you should. Anyway.
So, I have a major complaint for this episode. Really bothered me. I understand they only have so much time in the episode, but guys, not enough Caitlin Snow.
I know.
Just
not enough in general. She's too damn fun to have around, not to have more of her, but
just not enough.
I feel like Iris and Wally got her screen time.
I don't know.
But dude,
I'm willing to sacrifice Iris screen time for Caitlin Snow.
Normally, but Iris was actually doing something this episode, and we've been so happy with her in season 2 having some real agency that she didn't have in season 1. So I'm good with that. And Caitlin's always been good. It's a little bit of a share the wealth thing to me. Plus,
well, we get Killer Frogs next week.
Yes, we do. They're going to Earth 2, baby, taking the whole crew with them.
So, let's do it.
I just want to know, like, the thing that I was so happy with, like, I would have missed. There's a lot of screen time I did miss, and it's an ensemble show at this point, so you make that sacrifice. But what it got us is that Wally really does kind of want into this family, and you can already,
and he really does want to be fast.
Yes, and you can already see all the pieces falling in place. Like now, the big question is, all right, what are we going to do? Like, how does he get his powers? How can we make this happen as soon as possible? Because he's like the Wally version of the Flash has more tricks in his belt than any other version of Flash. There's more fun shit he can do, and he's actually faster than Barry most of the time. And it wasn't just because Barry was gone by the time Wally got there by virtue of it, but yeah, he's when they've been together, Wally actually is a little bit faster. So it's God, I want to see so much with him, and he's gone from being a little asshole to like, oh, okay, we see where you're coming from in a couple episodes. They're doing a pretty good job with him, getting him to the point we need him really quickly. Ditching Francine did a lot of that work for him, I feel like. But
I don't remember her dying, but I'm kind of glad that she's already dead.
They gave her a couple of good scenes, and then she was out, and that's fine with me. There wasn't a lot there. There wasn't a lot to do with that character. She was a trope. She was just a trope machine.
A living, breathing character motivator.
Right. She lived at the speed of writing, sir.
Now, I love that when Wells first of all, I love that he admits that he did it, that he was stealing Barry's speed.
Yeah.
That his guilt just got the best of him.
I really didn't want that to be several episodes. The fact that they did it so quickly, these are the kind of things I love about these writers.
Amazing, guys. Secondly, I love that Joe just ran over and punched him right in the hell of his face, just
throws him in one of the cages and says, "Why'd you do that? Because if I didn't, I would have killed him." Fuck yeah.
And third, I love that Barry is the voice of reason for forgiving Wells. He points out how everyone else has betrayed the group in the past to save a loved one. Right the hell on.
Caitlin's the exception. He doesn't actually pick on Caitlin.
Well,
he tells Cisco, like, you as much as did what he did, and we don't judge you for it. We still don't. And Joe, if it was your family, you know damn well you'd have done the same thing. And then Caitlin, well, you're a sweetheart anyway, so you'll probably agree with me. All right, guys, how do we feel?
Right. But yeah, I loved that. I love that he was the voice of reason.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Now, I don't remember Wells actually mentioning that he killed Turtle.
No, I don't think he's ever actually come clean on that. I think Jay accused him of it, and he kind of said, well. Whatever. They're just going to move on with that. But I mean, Turtle as much as tried to kill Patty, so I don't give a damn.
Right. Yeah. I hope we just, honestly, I do. I kind of hope we just skim right past that. Or we just have, a bit where, Wells is working on something, Harry's working.
All right.
And Barry's like, so, just random question. Turtle, was that? He's like, yep, okay. And they just move on.
And I want it to be Barry, though, so he can say, so, let's be honest here. He's missing brain matter. You killed him you took a biopsy and killed him, right? Yeah. Yeah, is that a problem? No, he tried to kill Patty. I'm fine. I don't, yeah, we're good. Okay. Let it be.
Yeah.
Now, Harry and Zoom, by the way, I liked Harry trying to stand up to him. I liked Zoom's response. It's pretty much, I can do things way worse than death. But more than any of that, the visual effects with the crackling reflecting off of Harry's eyes. God, man. Jesus, these guys just make me so happy all the time. It just looks so good.
Not only that, I really liked Flash, zooming up and running. No pun actually intended, but the slow-mo CGI Flash going into the car to save Wally.
Yeah.
That was awesome, too. It looked great.
Yeah. These guys make me pretty happy with all that. And, a lot of the Harry Barry stuff was just fun anyway, but, when they actually shut down that portal, which is going to be a fun thing to deal with, we've got 51 left, and you and I were just talking about it on Supergirl. It was if you have the option of shutting all the portals down, you leave one, right? You leave one and kind of bottleneck it so you're in control, but that seems like a lot of potential power and resource to give up. Just say goodbye to a whole other Earth. But man, the little camaraderie when they actually do shut down the first one, just Harry admitting with that goofy ass little headset thingy on. Okay, that actually was kind of cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
You're already falling in love with the idea of Harry being on that team, real wholeheartedly being on that team. Nothing hidden, and God, giving it all to us in that episode. It's just wonderful.
See, that's the thing though. I don't want them to send him back to Earth 2. I don't want.
No, I want Harry here.
I don't want Jay to go.
I want Harry right here.
I want Harry. At the very least, I want both Earths to be accessible.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to be able to jump back and forth when we can. And it's not like they've got a whole other version of Earth with different actors. They just you put a slightly yellow tint on the camera and tell the actor to do the other version of himself or herself. It's not like a huge expenditure to have an Earth 2 in this show. Costume changes. Yeah. That's about it. Once you made the costume, you got it.
Man, here's my thought. They've built the sets. We'll probably keep it around.
I think so. I don't think we're going to shut down Earth 2 after this season.
Yeah. How do you open up Earth 2? And plus, man, Gorilla Grodd's got to come back, and that's where Gorilla Grodd is. Gorilla City. They've said we're gonna get it eventually.
Yeah. Kreisberg I think he would sacrifice his own salary if he had to get that scene, to get it proper.
Maybe.
Just hearing him talk about it, I think he's really attached to let's do this right. Gotta love him for it.
Yep. All right. Shall we move on to what Scott Madison had to say about the episode?
Run it
by. All right. Buddy Scott says, if Villains of the Week didn't play it so over the top, the dialogue would sound better. True dat.
Generally,
yeah. Yeah. He says Iris is unusually intent on getting Wally out of racing. I don't think unusually intent. I think she's genuinely worried about him. And Joe makes a good point. Like, you've got a real family who sits up at night worrying about you.
I mean, Wally's not used to that. He doesn't. And, it's hard. It's some people, they're told, hey, there are people worried about you, and that's a good reason to push somebody away, because that's just, like, taxing to have somebody worry about you. But it depends on how you take it. Like, so other people just think it's, the most flattering damn thing in the world that somebody actually gives a shit. And, for somebody like Wally, who's kind of come in and out of it, like, you've got, you've got a single mom situation, and your single mom is in and out of, really in and out of being aware most of the time, because she's an addict. So he's not altogether used to having anyone actually give a damn what happened to him. It's, and I didn't know if it was. I mean, like I said, I wish Iris had kind of given him a fucking a little bit more breathing space. But I don't. I also kind of. I can see her being a little bit pushy. Come on. I mean, it is dangerous. She's worried about him, like mortally worried about him. That's fair. Still, though, she's only known the kid for like 3 weeks, and she's already like risking her life to try to get him out of some situation.
Well, yeah.
It did. It seemed a little pushy. I keep going back and forth on that, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to settle on it is a little pushy, but I kind of get it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So he says, also threatening big show criminals is pretty stupid. No more stupid than Lois Lane ever was. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I always. I think of it as more.
The reporters
plucky,
always do stuff like that.
More plucky than stupid.
Plucky. She's got moxie.
I hate.
He writes, "Who's the world's greatest hacker? Felicity Smoke. That's damn perfect.
Damn perfect."
He actually, as I did, almost. He wrote, Kavanaugh is incapable of doing wrong in his performance. I think
that's just a maxim we've all chosen to accept, right? That's
it is. Cisco is nailing his humor delivery. Was there ever a time when he wasn't?
Yeah.
Tar pit equals plot device. Can't disagree. Quickest climax resolution ever? Yes. He says, okay, here's a question I just thought of. Reverse Flash wears a suit modeled after Flash with basically a palette swap because he wanted to be the Flash, then wanted to kill him. He's connected to the Flash, but Zoom, if he had modeled his suit after the Flash, he would have used Jay's Flash costume. But Zoom's suit looks like Barry's suit. Why does Team Flash not notice this? I have wondered that.
Yeah.
Why is no one asking why Zoom looks like the Flash from a different Earth? I will take this opportunity to once again plug my 90s Flash as Zoom theory and say that the 90s Flash suit is much closer to Zoom's than Jay's suit. Well, the 90s Flash suit didn't look like our Barry's Flash suit either.
It doesn't look. It doesn't look exactly like either one of them. But the big it seems like Cisco at some point would have said, "Hey, wait, his Flash had a giant goofy helmet. Ours had the sleek cowl. Hold on now." I agree, but I like the Wesley the 90s Flash theory, but I've lost track. Like, we've been talking about it so long, I gotta admit I think of it more as our theory, not ours, me and you, like ours, me, you, and Scott at this point. Like we've been hanging out on that idea for a long time, man. We've been really hoping.
We've been holding on to the hope. And to be fair, you and I have been saying that shit way before we knew Scott.
I think Scott added some spokes to the wheel, definitely. But like we've fleshed out the idea. He added some spokes
to the wheel, but this is it's a work in progress as they continue to change what we can and can't theorize based on the facts of the show.
Yeah. And like I said, like we were talking about it before we started the dialogue.
That's
with Scott,
what made
so
Scott.
We have no idea if he
thought
of it before we did at all. We have no friggin' idea.
Yeah, that and Quantum Leap, I think, was what made Scott actually key into us anyway and start talking to us, because he was like, "Oh shit, these guys have the same theories."
Hey, you dropped the QL on somebody, man. That's endearing.
I mean, he just yeah.
I've got it's right now. It's still my favorite theory. I don't necessarily think it's Garrick. I don't even think it's a guy that. I don't even think it's anyone being played by Teddy Sears. I don't even think it's Hunter Zolomon and I'm going back to it. Zoom isn't tall enough to be played by Teddy Sears.
And Hunter Zolomon he's too obvious. He's the character. That's who the character was in the comic books.
Which would be way too easy.
It makes perfect sense that they should just red herring the hell out of that.
I don't think it's the last we've seen of Hunter Zolomon, but
no. It'd be fun is if he just became a different speedster altogether.
Yeah.
Or if he takes the name Zoom later on.
No.
But, makes him a good guy or something.
Let him be Hunter Zolomon, but let me put it this way. That guy in the park looked pretty calm, looked pretty zen, right? Let him change his name to Max Mercury. and start up a little bit of speedster.
Yeah, that's what I
religion.
said last week. Yeah. Except I really do just want Max
I
Mercury.
just want proper Max Mercury.
Yeah, I really like the idea of a Max Mercury just running around through time, like that he's just been trapped in different time frames and just going. You know, yeah, that's awesome.
Just calming
Do that.
speedsters everywhere with his mere presence and comforting philosophical ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they should go that deep with it. Like, yes, let's do speedster religions.
Yeah.
That's
For
phenomenal.
me, that feels like a season 4 thing.
That seems like a season, please, whenever you like.
It seems like a next week if you fucking want to thing. Yeah.
Right.
I got your back.
I'll do next week. Yeah, that's my jam. Let's do that.
The I don't know, I think that was about all I had for Flash at the moment. But one little Cisco / Harry gag this episode. They didn't do a lot of buddy cop with them, but Harry just like tossing the nitrous grenade over his shoulder without looking. I love this character, man. And like Cisco like raising his voice, nitrous grenade, you know. Man, the little choices like that they're doing with Harry, I fucking love them. Mm-hmm.
I like Harry a lot. He's great.
I'm really, really hoping that he gets to stay. I want him and Jesse Quick too. I mean, let's not stop there. Like, we don't have to do Earth 2 every week or whatever, but bring all the cool people back to Earth 1 with us, or Earth,
right?
Whatever the fuck Harry feels like calling it. I don't care. He can call it Earth 2 if he wants to. If he'll come over here.
At this point, if they get rid of Kavanaugh, they're just making a mistake. I think they know that. I hope they know that. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of DC On Screen. We are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network, and Jason, you were just on an episode of Breaking the Panel, weren't you?
Yeah, it's relatively new over there. The Giant Size Team Up's doing it's Charles McFall, normally Brian Ibbett, but he wasn't around this time, and Paul Klotz. It's a lot like our news episodes, but it's all over the place. I mean, it's everything from Doctor Who to at this point, like we did a fair amount. We covered a little bit of Rebirth and like what New 52 did wrong and what it did right, and there was a giant Star Wars throwdown there for a minute, and then being me, I brought in the whole Charles Roven talking about Judge, Jury, and Executioner of Batman thing. So yeah, it gets a little bit of coverage from all the angles it can. It's the height of nerddom.
That's fun.
Hop over there, check us out. Check out the show. It's got a lot of traction. It's doing well.
Yeah, and that's called Breaking the Panel, right? Cool. And see what else we got.
Oh, and quick shout out to Christopher Wisdom. Funny dude. Does a good job publishing over
Christopher
there.
Wisdom. Okay.
It's actually like he's kind of like chatting with us while we're doing the show, and I had trouble not laughing a couple times at stuff he was saying. It's like you're trying to talk and you get a text and you're trying not to talk and like to laugh in the middle of your sentence because no one would have a clue. Like,
that's great.
It was
fun. So yeah, you can find every episode of DC On Screen at dconscreen.com. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher. If you want a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, go check out our sister show, the Marvel Cinematic Universe Podcast. Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall run that show, a couple of good friends of ours. And we're going to be coming back with Arrow 413. Is that right? 413 Unchained, I believe. Might be 412. I'll know by the time I put them up.
It's number next.
That's how that works.
That's what we can stand by.
So, until then, keep some DC on your screen.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
At Baker's, we know the minute a tomato is picked, the fresh timer starts. The sooner we get our produce to you, the fresher it is. That's why we've shortened the time from harvest to home for our tasty tomatoes, strawberries, and salads. So no matter how you shop, you have more time with your fresh produce. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Baker's, fresh for everyone.